Listen up, indie devs. I've got a serious question for you. Do you want to create AAA quality survival horror games, but without that soul-crushing AAA budget? Well, today we're diving into a massive paradigm shift. In this explainer, we're breaking down the Vigil fixed camera system. This asset is basically your ultimate, out-of-the-box solution for crafting those classic, highly cinematic experiences. Think the golden era of survival horror.
Let's be brutally honest about game development for a second. If you've ever tried building a dynamic camera system entirely from scratch, you already know the pain. You add a few active cameras, and suddenly your frame rate just completely tanks. You've got colliders basically brawling with each other over which camera gets priority, jarring transitions instantly ruin the immersion, and you're left staring at a total spaghetti code nightmare. You end up fighting technical fires instead of designing new ways to actually scare your players.
There's a quote I absolutely love that perfectly captures why Vigil is such a game changer. In a fixed camera game, every angle is not just a viewpoint, it is an artistic decision. Vigil isn't just some random pack of scripts you throw into your project. It's literally a director's toolkit. It takes all those technical nightmares we just talked about and converts them into pure artistic control. You get to decide exactly what the player sees and exactly when they see it, with absolutely zero boilerplate code. So let's look at cinematic horror specifically for indie developers. Vigil is specifically designed to help you nail that classic aesthetic. The core of this fully decoupled architecture is the fixed camera manager. Think of it as the system's central brain. It seamlessly handles all your complex scene logic behind the scenes. Here's the kicker. It doesn't actually know anything about your specific scene, and it doesn't manually track volumes. Instead, when a player hits a trigger volume, that volume simply requests a camera change. What does this mean for you? It means your level design is completely 100% separated from your code. No more writing repetitive custom scripts just to make the camera switch when your character walks through a door. Now, moving on to something absolutely crucial: brutal performance without spikes. Because let's face it, your artistic vision doesn't mean a thing if the game stutters. In immersive horror, a stable frame rate is a matter of life or death. One single lag spike, and that tension you just spent 10 minutes building, it evaporates instantly. Here's exactly how Vigil dodges that problem. The old-school, heavy way to toggle objects in Unity is using set active false. Well, that's a massive performance killer. It literally forces the engine to recalculate physics and clear out colliders, which causes those nasty lag spikes. But Vigil, it takes a highly optimized approach. It never actually deactivates the game object. Instead, it just disables the camera component itself by setting camera.enabled equals false. That one little trick drops the rendering overhead down to absolute zero while keeping all your lifecycle events and gizmos perfectly intact. It's beautifully simple and brutally efficient. But what about those super complex scenarios? Enter reference-counted lock management. Instead of a basic true or false switch that breaks the second two events overlap, Vigil uses this incredibly smart counting system. Imagine your player enters a grand throne room that geographically locks the camera. Boom, that's a +1 to the lock counter. Then, a cinematic sequence triggers inside that same room. That's another +1, bringing the total to 2. When the cinematic finishes, the counter just drops back to 1, meaning the throne room's geographical lock is still perfectly intact. Multiple systems can peacefully coexist without ever overwriting each other. All right, next section, controlling the player's fear. Now that we know the technical foundation is rock solid, we can talk about the actual art of the scare. Fixed camera angles let you directly dictate the narrative tension, and you have native transitions right at your disposal to manipulate that tension. Picture this. You establish a static, fixed angle just to give the player a totally false sense of security. But then, out of nowhere, a monster crashes through the window, and you instantly trigger a dolly zoom. This is that classic Hitchcock-style vertigo effect that violently distorts the room's geometry around the player as the field of view recalculates per frame. You are literally directing their adrenaline, step by step. To make that fear actually feel alive, your camera needs to react to threats automatically. That's where the camera AI state bridge comes into play, and it heavily utilizes something called core routines. These are highly optimized, timed execution sequences specifically designed to bypass those heavy frame-by-frame calculations. Instead of begging the physics engine for updates every single frame, AI probes smoothly manage these tension shifts at custom intervals using those exact coroutines. The very second an enemy breaches the detection radius, the system organically shifts to a distorted tension angle, all while guaranteeing absolutely zero dropped frames. Your game is reacting dynamically to lurking monsters, all while keeping performance completely bulletproof. Let's shift gears to spatial memory and coherence. This addresses a massive headache in horror game design. Ever walked out of a grand hallway through the East Store, turned around to go right back in, and the game jarringly loads a camera stationed all the way over at the West Store? It's horribly disorienting. Well, Vigil completely neutralizes that problem with its camera room memory module. The asset does all the heavy lifting for you by using optimized static runtime dictionaries. It actually caches exactly which camera the player was last using in any given sector. So when they backtrack, the system injects an immediate, seamless cut right back to that saved reference. You get guaranteed, instant spatial continuity. And the best part? As a developer, you literally didn't have to write a single tracking variable to make it happen. Finally, let's dive into the professional workflow. Because all these features sound amazing in theory, but Vigil is built to be a daily workhorse. If you've been an indie dev for a while, you definitely know the sheer terror of migrating a project and watching all your custom shaders completely self-destruct. Well, Vigil offers absolute universal compatibility across all render pipelines. Complex procedural transitions, like a classic iris wipe, don't rely on fragile custom shader files at all. Instead, they generate procedural masks in real time. So whether you are using the built-in render pipeline, URP, or HDRP, it just works natively out of the box. It's just one less massive headache on your to-do list. Speaking of having fewer headaches, I want you to keep a very specific number in your head: 18.
That 18 is the exact number of instant safety checks performed by Vigil's built-in scene validator tool. Think of it as your professional pre-flight checklist. Before you waste an hour compiling a build only to realize you forgot to check an is trigger box on a random collider, this tool scans your entire level. It detects missing target references, it totally prevents overlapping priority conflicts, and it validates all your add-on event connections. It spots the error and lets you fix it with just one click. This literally saves indie developers countless hours of mind-numbing QA testing.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to truly terrify your players while simultaneously saving dozens of hours of frustrating programming? With Vigil, you get the decoupled architecture, the spike-free performance, the cinematic dolly zooms, and a tool suite that completely bulletproofs your workflow. It eliminates the technical friction so you can finally reclaim absolute artistic control. Will you keep fighting your camera code, or will you start building your cinematic dream game today?